Unraveling the Fall River mayoral recall saga begins with an understanding of an odd cast of characters. Mayor William Flanagan.
I have full confidence in our police chief, Dan Racine.
George Thompson.
This time, I served them.
Fall River Police Chief Dan Racine and Lieutenant Furtado. Jordan Sylvia.
My name is Jordan Sylvia, and as far as a backstory, I'm a Fall River citizen.
John Creedon.
I am John Creedon. Going to talk to you about my cases.
We began our involvement in Fall River when we covered Thompson's wiretap case.
Put yourself in my position. I was arrested for something that that is not illegal.
We interviewed the mayor at the time.
I'm asking you for your help.
I do appoint the police chief with the city council's confirmation, correct?
Okay, so this is a matter that should be addressed to you because we have concerns. I mean, that there was a man who was violently arrested on his own property for filming a police officer. What will you be doing to make sure that there's accountability for this?
You know, I will speak with Police Chief Racine and to see if he has any recommendations to me on what the next steps will be.
So the police themselves here, your oversight is based on what the police tell you about themselves.
You know, and I understand where you're going with this or what you're trying to do.
A Facebook page became the rallying point for the frustrated citizens.
Throw Up in Fall River is a Facebook page, a closed group. What happened was Grew Up in Fall River was run by a cop before, of a cop named Brian Nadeau. So if you put up your opinion and they didn't like it, they deleted it.
A recall petition was launched.
I started, along with a group, a group of numerous people, this recall petition process with the city of Fall River to get rid of the mayor, Will Flanagan. The only gripes I had with him was I thought he was a failed mayor. He's been in for 5 years. Fall River's economy is what it is. It's twice the unemployment rate. You know what I mean? That's not up for debate. I saw a study saying it's the 4th most dangerous city, criminal justice-wise, in the entire Commonwealth. You know, these are the issues. He did institute this pay-as-you-throw program, which was charging people $2. You know, some people say it's not a lot of money, but in the aggregate, it's $3.5 million a year that I characterize it as stealing from poor people. You know, so it was all these things, and it just basically came to a head, and I said, we need a new mayor. You know.
You're kicking a person out that's making $160,000 to $180,000 a year. They're not going to go without kicking and screaming.
A former assistant district attorney, Mayor Flanagan, ran to the courts to combat his political opponents.
They meet at midnight, according to the city councilors, actually according to all accounts. The mayor, the city councilor in the passenger seat, the city councilor in the back seat, the Fall River businessman in the back seat. They all admit to meeting at midnight and having a conversation about the recall and whatnot. According to the passenger and the city councilor in the passenger seat, he says that the entire conversation was the mayor was asking him to file a false police report with the Fall River Police Department and notify the Herald News that I threatened him into signing the petition, which he has said numerous times is ludicrous. I've said it's ludicrous. The video recording proves that there was no threats. The people who were there proves there's no threats. The only person who has made that allegation is the mayor. I'm on probation. If I was ever found to violate that, it would subject me back to my original charges, which were 3 of them, 10-year max on all of them for an accumulation of 30 years. That is why the mayor, according to the city councilor, was asking him to file a false police report against me. So I have a pregnant wife at home. I have a 1-year-old son at home who I love my family with all my heart. What the mayor was trying to do was have me ripped from my family.
A couple months ago, I posted a picture from Grew Up in Fall River to Threw Up in Fall River, which was a picture of a woman that I didn't know who it was. What was written on a picture, I didn't write, but I wrote on top of it, the mayor's secretary needs to take some dictation. I didn't know that it was the Corporation Counsel, Liz Souza. I got a phone call from the mayor who threatened me, and I hung up on him. I immediately took the picture down. I didn't want any drama. 5 hours later, I got a call from Lieutenant Ron Furtado saying that I was going to be charged with criminal harassment and accosting a woman. So I talked to him and I said, hey, listen, it was just a parody, satire and parody. He told me that I would be charged. I told him that the mayor threatened me and everything else. He said that he was going to put it in the police report. That didn't happen. August 26th, I went to the criminal magistrate's hearing. Found out about a week later that he hit me with accosting of a female, which is a common night walker law. Now, I will open my mail a couple of days ago. I get another criminal harassment, not criminal harassment, but threats to do bodily harm and intimidating a witness. This was sworn out on the 18th of August, which was 4 days before my Corporation Counsel Criminal Magistrate's hearing. I want to know what he is witness to, because during the mayor's thing that I took him to court for threats that didn't end up on the police report, he says he wasn't a witness to anything. So as far as I'm concerned, I think the mayor just perjured himself under oath. So, and Ron Furtado too, for writing reports like Walt Disney. Mayor Flanagan was putting up every day pictures of him. So he just took like something like 800 selfies in a matter of 2 months. I mean, it was just funny. There's an old Flanagan tombstone. So all I put on the bottom is, to the faithfully departed, this is the last selfie. So he thinks that that's a threat, a direct threat to me, from me, which I was only talking about his political career because of the recall petition. 5,547 votes is no joke. So he's pretty much done.
The Fall River Police stand by their mayor, just as he stood by them.
My understanding of the timeline was Jay Zeal said that he went to the chief of police with the city council president, Joe Camara, and they both went. After Paul De Silva, another city councilor, corroborated the whole story, they went to the Fall River Police Department and spoke to Dan Racine, the chief of police in Fall River, okay? And they told him, they relayed the facts to him, as he's relayed it numerous times, and Dan Racine admitted on the air that's exactly how they relayed it to him. And he gave him the option at the time to, he said, I could press charges or we can just put him on notice, quotation, as he was quoted in the Herald News and said numerous times. I'm not under the impression that as the police officer, the head law enforcement officer for the city, that it's his job to put people on notice. I'm of the opinion when he learns of criminal behavior that he is to enforce the law, just as he does against everyone else. But apparently Mayor Flanagan his boss doesn't fit under that umbrella. So they decided to not charge him on the incident of Jay Zeal, how he was wronged and how he felt intimidated, which that was Jay Zeal's right to do that. Unfortunately, they weren't just intimidating Jay Zeal at the time. When they were asking him to file a false police report, they were, committing several crimes about filing police reports and conspiracy and all these other things that the chief of police just didn't do a thing about. You know what I mean? And from what I understand, a city councilor told me 2 days ago that the chief of police's contract is up in a couple days, in October. So, yeah, literally, that city council was asking the chief of police to investigate the guy who was in the capacity to extend his job, several short weeks later. So I believe that's where the corruption took place.
On October 10th, 2 new police reports were filed. Councilwoman Pat Casey filed a complaint similar to Elizabeth Sousa's over a Facebook comment on Threw Up in Fall River, and Jordan Sylvia filed a complaint because 2 of the lug nuts on one of his tires were removed, while a third was loosened and about ready to fall off. Creedon's hearing was delayed until the 20th because the district attorney's office requested more time to prepare, and Councilman Raymond Mitchell is calling for a police investigation into $50,000 worth of windows that were installed on the 6th floor of Government Center, seemingly without a contract, payment, or any other kind of paper trail. With the recall vote slated to be held this December, the wild ride shows no signs of slowing down, and we will continue reporting on these matters. If you found our reporting valuable and you want to support us, please like and share our content. Follow Bay State Examiner on Facebook and BS Examiner on Twitter, and stop by baystateexaminer.com. If you want to support more of our reporting, please consider donating to us directly. A link to our donation page is in the description. Thanks.
I was kind of happy that the mayor had a girlfriend.
Now let me tell a story, though it's only just begun, of a pistol-packing mayor, Wild William Flanagan.